What's going on, everybody? It's the Hook Cam back again with another film breakdown, and today we're going to be taking a look at Dak Prescott, quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. And I just want to put this out there: Dak Prescott might be a lot better than you think he is. Now, I'm one of those guys who, instead of just kind of looking at the contract he wants and then looking at the numbers that he puts up and assuming that he's not as good as people think or not as good as he thinks he is, let's dive into the film. Let's take a peek at some of the throws he made from last year. And really, this all started when one of my friends sent me a clip of NFL's Instagram, and they had put together a number of throws that Dak Prescott made, and his ability to make throws off balance and off platform is next level. And when you match that with his ability to put touch on a ball and to really nail some of these deep throws that we're going to see here, I think there's a combination of him actually being a pretty good quarterback. And I'm as guilty as anybody when you just kind of assume, oh, he's not that good, he's just looking for that big contract, trying to strike while the iron's hot when he's coming off of a decent year. But this kid is actually pretty damn good. You look at some of the throws he makes, he's putting balls in the bucket, he's got phenomenal touch on these balls. He might be one of the better deep ball throwers in the NFL right now. Now, before I dive into this, a couple of things that I want to get out of the way. First and foremost, if you could hit that subscribe button to my channel, as well as to Jackson Kruger Sports, that would mean the world to both of us. I just finished up with my summer semester of law school, so hopefully I'll have a little bit more time to crank out some videos and get the content going again, hopefully before the NFL season comes around. So, sorry for the slow production on videos. Hope that you guys are bearing with me. And with all that being said, let's dive into a little Dak Prescott. Now, this game against the Giants, I really think he put on display the touch, right? And we look at this ball, cover one from the Giants are trying to mess with him a little bit pre-snap. It's not necessarily going to work, right? We're pretty much in how they're trying to mess with him, I should say, before we dive into the actual play, is from here it kind of looks like it's going to be cover zero, right? We're going to get pressure with these two right here, right? We're going to match up with the back, and then maybe we're bracketing out here, so I guess it would be kind of like a cover one robber. What ends up happening is we're going to drop this safety right here. He's going to be our cover one guy. We're going to take this one-on-one matchup, which is exactly what Dak does. If he's even, he's leaving. In terms of rules for a quarterback, Dak puts this ball absolutely on the money. This is a phenomenal ball from Dak Prescott, and this is really where I kind of said, damn, this dude's got some phenomenal touch. We'll fast forward a little bit here because he does do a lot of the pre-snap stuff, checking out of whatever he was in because we notice it's cover one. But when we look at this ball from the end zone, I mean, this thing is over the top, not a chance for 27 to get his hand on this thing. In the bucket, phenomenal ball to Michael Gallup. And then he follows it up later in the game. I don't know if this is the same drive, doing the exact same thing, right? It's cover one. We're going to try and take this matchup again. Now I believe it's Amari Cooper. Phenomenal ball from Dak Prescott. And we see, the Patrick Mahomes and the Russell Wilsons, phenomenal deep ball throwers. And we see some of those same things from Dak Prescott. I mean, these are not easy throws to make, and he's putting these balls on the money. They're in the bucket. They're over the top so that corner can't get there. Does a good job with his eyes pre-snap, trying to get that safety out of the picture a little bit. You can see him staring that safety down so he doesn't cheat to that side of the field. And then just a nice quick release, putting that thing over the top in the bucket. Not a chance 27 is going to get there. Phenomenal job. Now, the other thing that I want to hit on in a couple other clips that we'll see is his ability to move. And I think that obviously that's becoming more and more of a commonplace in the NFL, right? As a quarterback, chances are you're going to have to move. The days of the Peyton Mannings and Tom Brady's who had great movement in the pocket, they aren't necessarily thriving in the NFL as much as they used to. Right, and we look at this throw right here. We're rolling out to our right. He puts this thing on a dime to a comeback to 15. I'm not sure who that is. I believe it's Devin Smith. But on a comeback, right, he's moving to his right. He's off balance. He's off platform, and he's still putting that ball on the money. And like I said before, this is a talent. This is a really, really good sign when you're looking at a guy like Dak Prescott, and when you're his agent, right, and you're going into the contract negotiations, you pull up clips like this, and you're like, hey, look at what my guy can do, right? We're going through 2-3 reads here, rolling out to our right. We have that threat of running the rock, which we all know Dak can do. And then he puts this thing on the money. His feet aren't set. His shoulders are square to the line of scrimmage, as I'm pretty sure the technique goes when you're rolling out. But a really good job putting that ball on the money is essentially what I'm trying to say with this clip. Now, we see the Cowboys also work in Dak's mobility to their game plan just off of this boot action rollout right here. But this is a really good ball. And we talk about anticipation as a quarterback. And again, it's not necessarily the depth right here because because you have to imagine where we're looking at it with Dak, this guy could look covered. But he puts this ball, right by 49. This is a phenomenal throw from Dak, right? We're right into that little window, getting upfield for 18, throwing him into open space. I know that he's got a lot of room to work with there, but again, he's got the room to work after that. Then we go into this game against the Saints here. They're on the 40. Saints are going to end up running a Tampa 2, right, where they're going to drop off with these two safeties. And this Mike linebacker right here he's supposed to stay with number 3, who's going to be the tight end working right up the seam. This is a great ball, great anticipation, right over the top, in between backer and safety. Once again, not an easy ball to throw, but he gets the job done. He puts the ball on the money, and it's a big-time play for the Dallas Cowboys. And, when you go through and you look at the Cowboys' record from last year, you're not really inclined to say, oh, this dude's legit, and you know that their offensive line is very good. You think that maybe, it's on Dak Prescott for why he's not being talked about in the same sentence as the elite quarterbacks in the league. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Dak Prescott's an elite quarterback because I don't think he's there yet. But I went from being a person who didn't think he had the tools to be there to being a person who was thinking maybe he needs a better offensive coordinator. Maybe there needs to be better play calling. We look at something like this right here, a little double move from Amari Cooper, I believe. Good job with the shoulder, selling 23 on that. I think 23's eyes are locked on this receiver, but he's behind. And once again, it's the touch. He puts this ball over the top, and really, I think that Dak Prescott is one of the better deep ball throwers in the NFL, and we're going to see it here from the end zone. Off the snap, we're going to see him move with his shoulders. He resets, and then again, he's kind of fading away from this throw, right? His body's kind of pushing him back this way, but he puts this thing over the top, throwing his receiver into space. Really good job from him. And yes, it was a phenomenal route. Yes, he was open, but at the same time, he's got to get that ball there, and his balance isn't necessarily in the right spot to throw the most accurate ball, but he's got the arm strength to get it there. This is another absolutely phenomenal ball from 4. I was about to call him 15 when he was at Miss State. This is a phenomenal ball, right? And he's throwing a wheel to Ezekiel Elliott, as we saw before. He's locked in on him. He knows that defensive end was going to run with Ezekiel Elliott, so we know we got the matchup right here, right? 52 on 21. We're going to take that all day. Again, we got guys in our face. We got 31 in our face. Our tackle's getting beat. But one more time, we're going to put this thing in between a backer and a safety coming over the top. Not an easy ball to throw, man. And that thing's in the bucket. Once again, I don't think that he's necessarily getting talked about like this, right? Maybe he is in certain spots that I'm not looking for, but after going back and looking at the tape, I really think Dak Prescott had some phenomenal film. And it wasn't necessarily just the fact that he was throwing great timing routes or, what have you, but he was putting deep balls on the money, which is something that you have to be good at in the NFL these days to have a great career. And he did that time and time again in Dallas. Here we go again against the Green Bay Packers. And one more time, this is just going to be a phenomenal deep ball. And it's the touch. I love him climbing up in the pocket. Great job with his feet. This is great stuff for a quarterback coach right here. Throwing that thing right over the top. 23's got no chance on it. And Amari Cooper with the spin move, and he's in the end zone. I really do think that Dak Prescott does a phenomenal job getting that ball deep and getting it outside the numbers, which is a tough place to get that football if you don't have that elite arm talent. And one more time, I almost talked myself into calling him an elite quarterback, which, like I said, I don't think he's there yet, but I think he's got the tools for it. And I know that at least his mind's in the right spot, right? He knows where to go with the football, which is really positive. Stretching the seams vertically here, we're going to take our one-on-one matchup with our number 2 receiver, who's just going to work that nickel corner right over the top in the bucket. Phenomenal ball from Dak Prescott. And the more I watched film on him, the more I was like, wow, this dude is doing the right things to ask for that money. And there's going to be a new TV deal coming in soon that's going to give the teams a lot more money, especially a team like the Dallas Cowboys, who's got a ton of publicity, and they're one of the bigger market teams in the NFL, if not the biggest. But a guy like Dak, who's doing this game in and game out, why not throw him the money, right? Finding a quarterback who can do stuff like this is becoming more and more rare unless you're going to tank and draft a QB early. And we look at something like this, and you look at his escapability, and this play is a great example. Pockets collapsing. A lot of quarterbacks aren't getting out of this unless they're Patrick Mahomes, unless they're Russell Wilson, unless they're Lamar Jackson. A lot of quarterbacks are dead to rights here, and this is a phenomenal job from Dak Prescott. This is a skill, right? Getting out of a lot of quarterbacks are done right here. Let's be honest. X marks the spot. You are done. You're screwed. But we find a way to get out of this thing. We're rolling out to our left, not to our dominant side, and we throw this across the field. across our body against the grain, something that you're not really taught to do as a quarterback, but we put this thing on the money. That's a phenomenal job from 4. Looking at this thing from the end zone, we'll see that our left tackle on the right side of the screen gets beat. We find a way to get away from it, and once again, eyes downfield. But look at this. I mean, we're not in a position to throw this football. That's stuff that Mahomes is doing, right? Now, Mahomes, again, he's on a different level. But this isn't stuff that every average NFL quarterback is doing. That's a phenomenal ball from Dak Prescott, keeping his eyes downfield, putting one on the money. And like I said, he just did this time and time again. I got a couple more clips in here of him escaping pressure and then making a great throw. And really, it's just adding to my point of Dak Prescott is better than you think he is. He does a great job of getting balls outside the numbers, over the top. He's a phenomenal deep ball thrower. He can get out of sacks. He can escape pressure. He just does a really good job with that. And then his mind upstairs, he does a good job of reading defenses, because I think that defensive coordinators kind of underestimate him, and they're like, screw it, we're going to pressure him. And then he puts one over the top in the bucket to a guy like Amari Cooper, and we got ourselves a different ball game. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for this video today. If you go ahead and share this video if you're a Cowboys fan to one of your friends who's a Cowboys fan, that would just mean the world to me. If you could also hit that subscribe button, hit that like button to my channel, The Hook Cam, as well as to Jackson Kruger Sports. We're just cranking out videos left and right. Hopefully, I'm going to be producing some more videos here with a little bit more free time. But anyway, guys, that's all I got for you today. Hope you enjoyed. Everybody stay safe out there. Wash those hands. Let's cross our fingers for a good football season this year. And I will see you next time.